Welcome to Spread the Floor. We're talking playoffs. We're talking playoffs because the playoffs start tonight, the WNBA playoffs. We are going to be talking about our betting advice for tonight's games between the Chicago Sky and the New York Liberty, and the Las Vegas Aces taking on the Phoenix Mercury in the late night game. Here's our panel. We do have a fifth, so we're going to have a full basketball team here at some point in the podcast. But I'm Gabe. I'll be your point guard. I got Calvin Wetzel next to me. Calvin, would you say you're a 3 or a 2?
Definitely the lower number the better because I'm 5'9", so I'll take the 2.
Okay. Wow, we're gonna have a all right. We'll figure it out. I think I'm a point forward here. All right, Dan, we got Dano Mataya, who is our power forward against his will, but it is his birthday, so he can do whatever he wants on the court today.
Yeah, I'm not posting up. I am probably not chasing rebounds. Probably won't play much defense.
That's fine. That's fine. He's 30, guys. Well, this is when the decline happens. We also got Jim Turvey, who is going to be our center at 6'1". We're an undersized group, and he's coming to us from the Action Network and going to be hanging out with us. Jim, do you mind playing center down low?
I don't mind though. It sounds like I'm picking up a lot of slack from Dano, so I think I'm be pretty beat by the end of the day.
Yes. We'll see who gets more beat up because Dano may take one for the team. He seems like a team player. But anyway, we are waiting. We're gonna wait for Danielle, but we're gonna keep going. She'll join, and she always has good stuff, and she always has stuff that's different from everyone else. So we can go and move on and get into our analysis because we don't have that much time to talk about all of these games. Let's start with New York at Chicago, 8 p.m. on ESPN2. The line right now, according to FanDuel, is New York is a 9.5 point underdog heading into that game. These two teams have played some pretty close matchups throughout the season. Chicago has won the season series, but it's the playoffs, so anything can happen. Let's start with Dano because it's your birthday, so you get to start here. Give us some picks for this game.
I do really wish the Liberty, as a fan, would have drawn the Aces, but if there's any game for them to win, it's this one. Do I think they're going to? No, but I think they keep it somewhat close. We've talked about this before. The Chicago Sky don't really blow too many teams out. In fact, one of the few blowouts I had was that first game against the Liberty that us and the whole world bet on, and they lost by 32, I think. But I do love Sabrina in big games. We only have a small sample size of her in the playoffs, but we know what she did in Phoenix. I think 9.5 is just extremely high. I liked it at 7.5, so I'll go down to 6.5, but up to 9.5, and I think at 10 at Caesars. So I do like them to keep it in single digits. I could see Chicago getting out to a really hot start in the first quarter. I see a comment saying they want some quarter opinions.
Yeah.
New York's been known to have some slow starts. So if there was a quarter, I would take the favorites in the first quarter, if anything. But all in all, I think it's going to be a sweaty play if you're on the New York side. Can't see Chicago getting up by a lot. I don't know about the total. My gut instinct is to go over, but not confident enough to make a official play on that.
All right, dude. So you like New York?
I do.
Okay, we can roll with that. Let's keep it rolling here. Jim, what do you got for this one?
Yeah, my thinking is actually pretty similar to Dano's. This has to be one of my debut and one of the worst closing line values I got all season. I feel like I was with you on liking New York even at 7.5. I'm a little surprised by how big the number's gotten, to be honest. Hasn't really scared me off. I think there's honestly maybe even a little more value in a money line play. I like Dano said, I don't see them winning, but again, if the value's there, this number's crept up pretty high. New York, they're one of the most high variance teams in the league, both because of how many threes they take, but also they just seem to have a roster that rolls really high variance. You'll have Maureen Johannes taking off 1 foot threes and drilling them and somehow covering stuff. So I honestly 370 number is definitely interesting to me. I think it's really going to come down to behind the 3-point line. It's going to be boring, but that's what it's going to be. Chicago's defense, they're pretty good at chasing people off. We'll see if the Liberty can still get off the number of threes that they're looking for. In terms of over under, I think the number when it opened, I would have gone over. At this point, I think it's a pretty solid line. In terms of quarters, I might look to live play this one. If the Sky are up big going into the fourth, like 12-15, I think I'd hammer Liberty in that quarter. They've been really good in the fourth all year. Sky have kind of struggled in the fourth at times when they have a lead to like we've said over and over here to really keep that as a blowout. So I might look to live bet that before the game. It's a little hard to tell from my end over here right now, but I do kind of like the money line play just as a value, and high variance like the Liberty. Anything can happen on a given night.
Well, yeah, I think that goes to Dano's point that this is if the Liberty are going to win, game one is probably the game that you're going to have now. There's some injury concerns with Tasha Howard, and James Wade's one of the best coaches in the league, so maybe him coming off rest is more important than New York coming off rest. But we'll have to see. And to both your points. Oh, Danielle, hello.
Hi guys. I love everything I've heard
Welcome.
so far.
All right.
I gotta be honest, Danielle. I didn't know that I could scroll at the bottom of people, so I did not see that you had entered. I'm so glad you texted me.
Wait, were you here? Oh, you can scroll.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Danielle, we're so sorry. I didn't know that. That was not clear in the StreamYard. But anyways, you've been listening to us. That works out. And so to wrap up though with what you guys are saying, I actually have this game at Chicago 6 as a 6.5 point favorite. I have that bet right now because I got it a long time ago. Well, actually, this was 2 days ago. I don't remember placing this bet. It was a midnight bet when I was camping. So that's it was a
Those
camping
are the best
bet.
ones.
The best ones. All right, Calvin, give me what you got for this game.
Yeah, no, I'm going with Dano and Jim on New York, but I'm glad that you took Chicago, Gabe. Someone has to take the other side, or else those bets never hit when everyone all agrees. But I don't actually understand why this line has moved so much towards the Sky. Like Dano said, I think it moved the other way first. It went from 7.5 to 6.5, and then it went at one point 4 points towards New York before it's maybe started to go back a little bit towards the middle. So I don't really understand the line movement on this one. But I definitely like the Liberty at 7.5. I got 7, so 9.5 is great. Like Jim said, though, super high variance. I feel like they're either going to win and cash Jim's money line, or they're going to lose by 30, like they did in the first matchup early in the season. So, you're taking a chance when you bet on the Liberty, who shoot so many threes. Sometimes they shoot 50%, sometimes they shoot 17%. I like the Liberty, though, and I still honestly would probably lean towards the over, too. I think if the Liberty are going to cash this, the over is going to have to hit because they're going to have to be hot from three. I think I've said that. Maybe I said that on Danielle's show. I can't remember, but I still like the over. Lean that way. Definitely love the over when it opened, though. I think it's moved up a couple points. So we're going to see, but I agree. If the Liberty are going to get one, it's going to be tonight.
All right, so we a lot of action on the Liberty. Always goes great. Always go. When have the Liberty ever screwed this up? Danielle, what do you have in this game? Please enlighten us.
Oh, the Liberty plus 10.
All right.
I almost made it last night when it was at 8 because Calvin came on the podcast that I host and we talked about it. And I said 8 sounded disrespectful, and I woke up and it was 10. And I thought, who did this? This is a nightmare. But I guess a good case scenario. Also, we talk about closing line value all the time in the WNBA, and I think this has swung a little bit too far. I think I could see a 7.5 or an 8 covering. But of course, I'm just haunted by that May game between New York and Chicago, where Chicago just blew them out by 30 points. The games have been all over the place. I mean, their last one, Chicago won by 8 or 9. Before that, it was a 2 or 3 point game in New York. Now, I think obviously the fact that it's in Chicago is going to be a factor here. And again, New York lives and dies by that 3. So I actively avoided betting New York in most scenarios this season. But now we have playoffs, and these are the only games that we have. So I did go New York plus 10 because I didn't want to touch that other game. And I do think New York's going to be able to keep this competitive. And it's interesting to me. I actually am surprised to hear that you guys think this is going to be the game that New York is going to be able to steal one? Do you think that they're not going to be able to do it in game 2?
Yeah, I pulled some stats about the Liberty's play on the weekends. They have not won a road game on a Saturday or Sunday. Have not won a game that started before 1 p.m. Eastern time. And I think the game is local time on Saturday at 11 at local time, which is crazy. Super early. Very early for Danielle. So
yeah, I was gonna say those are ladies after my own heart. I would want to sleep into.
So yeah, I worry about that game. When we've seen Chicago at home a couple times early, like against Connecticut, come out really hot. So I don't know. I don't feel good about game 2 based on those stats, but like I said, we only got one game of a sample size, but playoff Sabrina. Very excited to see her. Speaking of players, anyone have any props on this game?
I do because now we all know that I'm taking Chicago because I'm glad I've made this a fair fight, because if we all pick New York, there's absolutely no chance that the Liberty would make it a game. I have Courtney Vandersloot over 6.5 assists on FanDuel. This seems like a slam dunk to me because she absolutely ups her game in the playoffs. We saw that last season. She's averaged 8.3 assists against the Liberty this year. She averaged 11.3 assists against the Liberty in their 3 games last year as well. So she kind of dices up the Liberty. I think if Chicago is going to win and cover, like I think they will, they're going to be passing the ball around. Their assist percentage could be very high. So I think Courtney's gonna dominate there and at least get 6.5 assists.
I do like that. I do.
No. Anybody else got player props?
Yeah, Dano and I are both on one. I don't know if Dano would still take it. I would. We both got Kalia Copper over 15.5. Or Dano, did you get 16.5? Can't remember.
I got 15.5, and then I got over 20 at plus 172.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, I got that one too. That one's gone. Definitely don't bet 20 plus now. It's down to like plus 118 or something. But I still like over 16.5. I don't know about Dano, but I think, in the playoffs, starters minutes go up in general. So you're already talking about probably a situation where just across the board overs are maybe going to have a little bit more value than unders. And then Kalia Copper, when you look at how she's played the Liberty this season and how she's played in the playoffs, more importantly, when you look at KFC last year, finals MVP and all her playoff averages, to me, even 16.5 is too low of a number. So hopefully she cashes. I got to point out that Liberty blowout loss at the beginning of the season was on my birthday. So really hoping that the Liberty have a better birthday gift for Dano than they did for me, because I also bet on the Liberty and the over in that game.
Birthday curse. Oh, no.
50 points. 0-2 on that one. But Dano, I think they can turn it around for your birthday, hopefully. But I actually do feel more confident about the Kalia Copper play than I do about either the spread or the total.
I don't know. Something's got to give. I think I'm going to follow Jim and throw some on the money line just to really create some chaos.
Well, where is so the money line was at 370, right? That's where we left it. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, and I got it'll be full kiss of death because I'm also on Copper for points, which kind of ties nicely with the Sloot assists. I wasn't able to scoop up the good value on that 20 plus points. I really liked it at the number. Dano, I think both and Calvin got. But yeah, I think we all know this Liberty team is terrible in transition, both offensively and defensively, in a way that doesn't entirely make sense considering they're a young athletic team. But yeah, Copper in the postseason, Copper against that transition defense, even at 16.5, I think I still like that number. But definitely don't play the 20 plus points. The math on it makes almost no sense. I think it's like plus 118 for 20 plus points and like minus 114 for 16.5. So not entirely sure where they're getting that math, but the 16.5 feels pretty safe.
Did nobody look at any Sabrina props? And if so, why?
Oh, I did. I looked at hard, and I feel like as much as I'm talking her up, I feel like I have to make a play. So, you know what? Give me her over. I think it's. Okay. I think it was.
I brought it up.
It's at 18.5 right now.
Points?
Yes, points.
Why don't you just go for the whole thing? Just
make this a parlay.
Triple double?
Yeah.
So it's not. You don't even need a triple double. You're gonna need 18.5 points. 6.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists.
We need triple-double odds, though. We need, like, specials on that. FanDuel, that's the next thing.
That is the next thing.
So I kind of like the Sabrina rebounds over.
I like that number.
Yeah, if Howard's a little dinged up, and then also Chicago does such a good job chasing people off the line. Sabrina loves to follow her own misses. I could see her picking up 2 or 3 rebounds just on, a hard closeout from Chicago. She scoots past them, grabs an offensive rebound, and takes off from there.
It is minus 142 at FanDuel. I gotta check Bet Rivers just to be smart.
He is a little juiced.
But
Jim, is that your fault?
I don't know if I can be blamed for this one. I don't know.
What'd you get
at? It was like 130 something, I think.
That might be your fault.
I will say the Courtney Vandersloot assist numbers at plus 102 for anyone listening and wanting to tell Gabe. So
yeah, no, look good after that.
Plus money is not bad.
I don't even know where I got it. Yeah, I got a plus 102, so I didn't change it. That's how you know. Every time everyone else bets, the line changes. When I bet, they're like, whatever, dude, that's fine. Sabrina averaging 7.8 assists in 4 games against Chicago this year. 7.8 rebounds.
Yeah.
There we go.
I like the rebound one a lot.
That's good. Minus 121 at Bet Rivers.
Oh, much better. Much better.
Shout out the brand. Go Danielle.
All right.
Sponsored by Bet Rivers.
All right, we are not sponsored by Rivers, but if they want to sponsor us, feel free. Hit someone up.
Won't say no.
Just Danielle.
Just find Dano. He's probably the easiest to find. All right. So does anyone have anything else on Chicago and New York?
My only last thought was if we had any like series and looking at the series as a whole, if anyone had any plays there.
I haven't seen. I haven't looked.
I did like Chicago to sweep at minus 150. I think that's pretty good value considering both games being at home. But I just got the weird feeling that the Liberty are going to steal tonight. Even though I'm not confident, I still, if you felt confident in the Sky, I would not mind playing that at minus 150. It's up to minus 180 now. Sky 2-1 at plus 300. You're probably better off betting the Liberty money line tonight. That's at FanDuel, but yeah, I don't know. Minus 180 is kind of creeping up there a little bit, but if you're a Chicago fan and you really think you're going to roll, I think I'd send it at minus 180. That's probably the lowest considering a 2-7 matchup that we have. It's 2-7, right? Yeah.
No, it's 2-7.
Yep.
Well, we got the series odds up here. Chicago's minus 550, New York plus 390 for the series. It doesn't really do it for me. I don't know, Jim. Did you have an opinion on here?
I do. There's one play I kind of like. Maybe my Liberty bias is showing through again. But I do like those exacto kind of ones with if you go Liberty 2-1, because I don't see there's any way New York goes into Chicago and wins 2 games. So I think you can kind of add a little bit of juice if you like the Liberty in the series. If you go Liberty exactly 2-1. I was looking at PointsBet right before we hopped on. It was plus 500. I think it's a pretty good number. I think if it came to a game 3 in New York, I think Barclays would be a pretty awesome atmosphere. Chicago's not the type of team that's going to, be intimidated by that, but it might be the kind of atmosphere that, gets Sabrina to go for a triple double with 35 points or something. So, if you are a Liberty fan trying to talk yourself into playing the series somehow, then I like that exact 2-1 at plus 500.
All right. Well, we do. I know everyone's stalling because we don't want to get to the next series, but we do have to talk about Phoenix and Las Vegas, even though it seems like the less interesting series here. Phoenix coming into this game 1 as a 16.5 point dog at Las Vegas, 10 p.m. on ESPN. Phoenix without the large chunk of their team. Skylar Diggins-Smith is out for at least game 1. Diana Taurasi is out for at least game 1. Obviously, Brittany Griner is wrongfully detained, and we're sending all our thoughts and prayers to her. But we have to analyze this game So Danielle, I'm going to toss it to you. Give me what you think. Everything here on Phoenix and Las Vegas.
Is this Phoenix? Who's playing in this game for Phoenix? This is going to be miserable. I mean, it's also hilarious that we're seeing a 15-point spread in a playoff game, and it's not the Fever that we're talking about really, but that's kind of where the Phoenix Mercury are at this point. I actually was texting with a friend, and they were like, "Yeah, but it's not really their fault." And I was like, "Kind of, in a lot of ways, it is. I mean, BG is not obviously, but there's a lot of mistakes that were made with this team, and maybe it started with losing Sandy Brondello, honestly, over the season. But now we're at the point where it's unfortunate that we have to watch them in the playoffs almost. Like, I almost wish a different team was in. We're seeing 15. I don't even want a piece of that. Calvin and I talked about this on the pod that I host yesterday about how if this gets out of hand, Las Vegas could pull some of their starters maybe towards the end, and maybe Phoenix will kind of surge and be able to cover that 15, but it's not enough for me to want to rely on it. It's something where maybe you look at a first half. You could look at over and total, but are you trusting Phoenix to score a lot of points? I'm not. And the total sitting around 168. Las Vegas has seen a couple unders, but we did talk about maybe like a team total, something situation like that. Like Las Vegas's team total that I saw sat around somewhere at 90. But again, if it gets out of hand early, then we don't necessarily know that we're going to see that. The one thing you can rely on is there's not going to be great defense coming from Phoenix. So maybe the way to look here is like a Las Vegas over their team total. But I mean, Vegas won all 3 of the regular season by an average of like 16.5 points per game. This is just going to be rough.
Yeah, it's not only like bad timing, it's a bad matchup. Yeah, so are you just like staying away, waiting for live to see what's going to happen?
Yeah, I think you could get something live, especially like it would be fun to bet the first half live somehow if like we see how the first quarter kind of looks.
Okay, all right, I think that's a good bet because I do think Phoenix's defense can get a little frisky and get a little creative and maybe muck things up in that first half.
Yeah.
But let's Calvin, what you got here?
Yeah, this is
you have a face.
I'm not touching this full game spread either. I mean, so I saw it at 16.5 on some books. That's the 3rd highest spread of any game the whole season. The only 2 17 or more were Aces versus Fever. So you're talking about a playoff game with the 3rd biggest spread of any game all season. And yet I think it's right. Like it should be this high. I think it should be in the same territory as Aces Fever. And if anything, maybe more. But at the same time, when you start to, apologies to Phoenix, it's not their fault. This is not the team that they started the season.
As Danielle said, it's a little their fault.
But also unfair because the Fever actually battle in the 4th quarter. Mercury do not.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like with the Fever, you can live bet. They'll get down by 1 million. You can live bet the 4th quarter. They'll come back and cover the pregame spread on a last-second bucket that no one cares about. I don't know if the Mercury are going to do that, but this number is just so high that I don't want to touch it. I think Dano got first half though, if I remember correctly, and that's moved a little bit too. I definitely like that better for that reason. I do like the over in this game a lot. I would take the over before I touch the full game spread. This one, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. This is just a weird series that this is actually even a playoff series. It doesn't feel like it's the playoffs.
Yeah. The over is at 167.5. That's what you're going with?
I think I'll take it. Or Danielle and I talked about her pod. Actually, maybe the best play would be the Aces team total over. I think the Aces could hit 100 or at least get into the 90s, even if they end up resting starters, the second half,
especially in its first game.
Whatever it is. Yeah, right. They're going to come out, set the tone. I don't see them finishing below 90.
Yeah.
So I do actually, because I have the Aces under 92.5.
All right,
I think so. Here's some theories. Here's some theories as to why. Phoenix, very sharp defensively, 2nd best defensive rating in the last 5 games. Now they have relied a lot on zone, and against Las Vegas, playing zone's not the best option because they can threes, but they'll get creative with it. Like I said, they're frisky. So I think Becky has been coaching more to defense because she knows that this Phoenix series is probably going to be a 2-gamer, right? So she's focusing on getting the defense set for whatever the next round is. So I imagine there's just going to be more focus on defense and there's going to be less scoring, which is why I have the Aces under. I don't trust Phoenix to do anything. So I don't want to include them as much. I only want to trust their defense. So that's why I'm going with the Aces under 92.5. And I think they will.
You can't name the starting 5. You don't need to be betting on Phoenix this game.
Hey, they have an AP all rookie member. Okay.
Yeah,
How dare you?
Respect on our name. Shout out Sam Thomas. Yeah. Gabe, head to head. I love it. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll see who won.
We'll see who won. We'll see who won. I trust the defense somehow. Actually, I don't. I just trust that it's going to be a weird game.
Mercury defense?
They've been really good lately.
No,
Brianna Turner has been unbelievable.
This is what's going to happen, though. The Aces, what's the team total? 92.5. The Aces are going to get to like 89 with about 7 minutes to go in the game. They're going to put everyone in on the end of the bench, and Gabe's still going to cash.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of what I'm banking on. I think they can score 80, it'd be pretty easily. I just think they may chill after that because it'll be 80 like 60. All right, sorry, Jim.
We've seen it before.
Let's get over the Jim to talk about this game before I get myself in more trouble. Do you have any picks here?
I mean, like all of you, I'm pretty terrified of this game. I do like the first half. Dano, did you get it at 8.5?
I got it at 8 at DraftKings. And then I got 13.5 right when the game opened. I tweeted it should have opened at 15.5. Like where it's at right now is where it should have opened. I'm surprised it's not higher. You have one of the best offensive teams in the game going up against this Phoenix team.
Yeah, I honestly, it was sitting at 9.5 today. I wish I'd gotten on it way earlier. I think
it's still 9.5.
What's that?
It's still 9.5.
So yeah, I still like 9.5. Probably more of a lean than like a full recommendation. But Gabe, you kind of won me over on a little bit of that under talk. I don't think I'd be as bold as to go aggressively against the Aces with the under, but maybe I'll put in an under 167.5 because I do think there's potential for blowout. There's potential for Phoenix just mucking things up so much that throwing zones at them. And in game one, I'm gonna go with the under. I don't feel great about it. I don't feel great about anything in this series really, but I'll make that play since I don't want any part of the spread really.
I know we're gonna immediately regret this as soon as we see Phoenix's defense.
It's gonna be 45-10 at the end of the first quarter.
Kelsey Plum's gonna hit 8 threes in the first quarter. Please do not show this to Kelsey Plum. Just no one tell
I have Kelsey Plum's point prop over, so I would take that.
What about like an over, like a first half over?
First half over.
Yeah, that seems like a good hedge against blowout or
because that second half is what scares me.
Yeah.
It's at 84.5 first half over. First half points.
A lot from Phoenix.
All right.
I don't know. It could be 50-30 at the half.
That's what I'm saying.
I was thinking 60.
Can I tell you guys one more thing that's gonna make you really mad? I put the tiniest of sprinkles on Phoenix money line at plus 1120. Just because if it happens, right? That's gonna be my year. That's gonna be. I don't care how much money I won. That's a great bet to have.
Gabe, are you gonna hit
imagine
Phoenix
the post game
sweep?
with Asia if that happened? Oh my god!
Can't wait.
Okay, wait.
Gabe, you got to hit up that 2-0 sweep. Phoenix 2-0 sweep. Then I'll be impressed.
I mean, we talk about high variance. Phoenix takes almost as many threes as New York. Las Vegas, their one weakness is 3-pointers. They allow them, and they allow a good percentage. I think it's a terrible bet, but I also probably will put $1 on Phoenix to win 2-1 somehow.
Do not tailgate. I'm just saying.
Just that one at least.
We're 3 Asia Wilson first half fouls away from this happening. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Regardless, that's what I got on Phoenix. So does anyone else have anything on Phoenix for now? And we can go over the series stuff. I just want to make sure we've gotten everyone's bets for this one.
I am on Asia Wilson over 20.5 points. I do worry about what everybody's saying, them just getting up really big and then, players don't come back in. And while I think there are some situations where teams will just kind of play around and go nuts at the end like the Fever, and you'll have a super high scoring fourth quarter, with these two teams, both their benches in the fourth quarter, I think it's a great opportunity to look live for a fourth quarter under. Not super confident because you do have players that can shoot like Plaisance. Raquan Williams might get some run in the fourth quarter, but God, I think I have to add some more on Vegas first half spread and go down with the ship. I just think this is one of the worst matchups of any first round in any sport I've ever seen.
Everyone's dumping too hard on Phoenix, man.
I don't care. I mean, it's not. It is the situation. You lose. 3 of your.
Nobody believed in us.
This is a 116 matchup of the NCAA tournament. This is.
No, it's not a 116.
I feel like we're harder on the Aces bench than the Phoenix Mercury starting 5. Like the starting 5 doing their best at least for the Mercury. I mean, if the Aces backup 5 is a nightmare.
I know, and they're down.
Could be worse.
If the Aces didn't have any other starters in this game, I would set the line as a pick'em.
Yeah. So like,
if they were missing their 4 best players, like Phoenix is.
Right? It's the same thing.
Let's go.
What prop I would love to have? They don't have any of the Mercury player props on yet, do they?
I have not seen them in a long time.
Because Bet365 has them. If anyone's in New Jersey, you can get them.
Oh, okay. Do they have? Because I would love DeShields to score 20 plus because she's kind of inconsistent. I could see her going for like 7 points, but I could also see her going for 25 on 25 field goal attempts as they just like go down swinging. So
I would like that a lot too.
Yeah, if you could find DeShields 20 plus at a decent number. I don't know if it even exists out there, but I was looking for it earlier today with hopes to play that.
All right, yeah, I think that's probably a good one. Give me Shea, whatever Shea Petty is over, playoff Petty. You know what? I would rely on Shea Petty pretty much more than 80% of the players in the playoffs right now.
I wish she was on the Aces. Yeah. Oh my God, she'd be a perfect spark off the bench, come in, hit 3 threes, do her job, get rebounds.
If you see whatever her over is, I don't care what the number is. Just take Shea Petty over. The series odds, I have them down there. Vegas minus 4,000. Phoenix plus 1,200.
I did take Vegas to sweep at minus 550.
That's better.
To me, it's free money. And if somehow Phoenix wins a game, I will. I don't know. I won't tell my wife.
Okay. Anyone else got anything for this game? No.
If Vegas doesn't sweep, it's going to be pretty embarrassing.
Man,
I do think the Vegas sweep is. I've told a couple people this already. Like, if you are placing any other bet, in the next however many hours until that game starts, just parlay that with it because it's like an odds.
Throw it in.
Yeah, it's an extra free bump to your odds.
That is so brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I tried to show your guaranteed plus money with parlaying the series with the favorites and then doing one with Seattle and one with the Mystics. I think you're guaranteed plus money at some point, but if you wanted to add those on too, like, do it. I don't think this kind of gets into tomorrow's like the other round, but I don't think Dallas wins in Connecticut 2 times, and I don't think either of these matchups have the underdogs winning the series. So
yeah, I could see it happening, but I also like Las Vegas going to 3 games at plus 750 because there's so much variance. Like Jim said,
I love how much you're caping up for Phoenix here.
Everyone's look at the moment I see everyone on one side of something, I'm like, we got to go. We have to take it to the other side.
That's your reaction.
That is the correct strategy, Gabe. To be fair, that is the correct strategy.
Haven't you guys watched College Game Day? They all picked the same team, and immediately I bet against that team because there's no way. So if we're all on the Aces, we're gonna lose.
What's the record on that?
I'm sacrificing for this team. That's all I know. We have our starting 5 here. Danielle, you missed it. We were all giving up. You're gonna be our 2. Wait, how tall are you?
Right now I'm hobbled, but like 5'8".
Oh, right. Okay, perfect. You could be our 2 guard. All right. So we're pretty small, but I sacrifice for this team, guys. That's our culture. We're sacrificing for each other, and I will do that.
Also, but Nigel Laney making me feel horrible about my ankle recovery because she had knee surgery and was on the court like 4.5 weeks after.
Yeah, she's kind of a
What is that? I got 1 week to do it. Let's see.
Hey, she's got access to better doctors and stuff. Okay, you're okay. Don't worry.
Jeez. Incredible.
I mean, you're already on this court.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
You're hanging with us, making our team better every step of the way. All right, guys. So we're doing. Some of us are doing this tomorrow. So we're talking.
Yep.
We're talking. Obviously, don't tail me again in the Phoenix. It was a sacrificial play. Unless they win, in which case I'm just going to shout them right tomorrow all day. But we'll be back tomorrow on Spread the Floor. Make sure you guys follow everyone. Danielle over there. You can see her Twitter handle. And we have everyone else. Jim there, Turvey Betts, Calvin, C. Wetzel. And then follow the birthday boy, Dano.
Thank you.
Dr. Mataya. That's every time I see you. Every time I see it, like
he's the doctor.
You know, when I use my credit card and a lot of places, especially in groups, they're like, "Who's the doctor?" Or no, they used to say, "Who used their dad's credit card?" Because my credit card say Dr. Mataya, you know, so it's not good. My name's Ryan. I'm not a doctor.
Can you put doctor on your credit card?
I don't know. It was the way it printed. But anyways, everyone tweet at me your best bets. I want to give away a gift card. If one of them hits, I'll pick someone random. I'm loving doing this. I'm going to do this every day of the playoffs. Tweet at me at Dr. Mataya, not doctor. There's a period in doctor. And we'll give away a WNBA NBA store gift card. We're going to keep doing this all year. And then I have the crazy parlay up with the first baskets. Calvin put up some first baskets. Follow him on Action Network. He's got a ton of plays. Just insane. I love
why'd you save the gift card thing until the end?
It didn't hit me. You know, I had to work today. I had a cloudy
for
brain.
the people who stuck around till the end.
Yeah,
that's true.
Our lovely
audience is here.
And we'll post this.
Yeah, well, of course,
Yeah.
It's going to be all over. It's going to be on everything. You can catch us on the Spread the Floor YouTube page. You can follow us at @spread_the_floor on Twitter, and that's where you'll find everything. So for our little basketball team rooting for other basketball teams and potentially against one another, have a good one and enjoy the playoffs tonight.